Every once in a while, there's a movie that comes out that really flies under the radar and does not get the attention that it truly deserves. And sometimes these movies become cult classics, which is exactly what I am hoping happens to My Old Ass. By the way, that title is a blast to say. It really rolls off the tongue really nicely. It's quite the conversation starter. Not to mention, when you say this movie's title, people are gonna be curious. Why do I think that this movie deserves cult status? Let's talk about that. I probably at least partially gave away the result of this video by telling you that I think this movie deserves cult status, but either way, you should stick around because there's a lot to unpack with this awesome movie. My Old Ass stars Aubrey Plaza and Maisy Stella, and it tells the story of a young girl who, with some friends, decides to take some mushrooms and have a trip, and it's during this trip when she is visited by her older self. This premise really does open up a lot of questions, and one of the things I like best about this movie is that it doesn't try to answer all of them. Maisy Stella does a fantastic job in this movie. She's probably not on the radar for most people, but after seeing this performance, I would bet that she's going to be getting way more offers and more people are going to be paying attention to her. Elliott is a girl who, like most high school girls, or most high schoolers in general, is trying to find out what she wants in life. She spent most of her life thinking that she's a lesbian, but throughout this movie, she comes to question if it's really that simple. Is sexuality that black and white, or is it more gray? This is a dilemma that I think many people can probably connect to, probably more than even want to admit to themselves. Her story throughout this movie is so relatable and just as important as ever because it teaches us to savor the moments we have in life with the people that matter. And not only that, but never be too quick to close the door on situations. You never know what you're gonna find, who you're gonna meet, or when you're gonna lose something that you just can't get back. Like I mentioned, Aubrey Plaza plays an older version of Elliott, and this might be one of my favorite performances from her. She certainly brings that humor and sass that Aubrey Plaza is definitely known for. Fans of Parks and Recreation are going to continue to get the classic Aubrey Plaza mentality, but she also brings something so much more nuanced and depth to this role. She knows how to bring the humor. She brings the humor like it's her day job. Actually, it is her day job, isn't it? But she also knows how to tap into those complex and very human emotions, and this role really gives her a good challenge. It really reminded me of her performance in the second season of The White Lotus. That also is a fantastic performance from Aubrey Plaza. She's playing a woman who is 39, so she has way more insight in life than her younger self, and it makes you wonder about what you know now and what you would do differently if you could go back into the past and change things. Now, she's not a time traveler in this movie, and she's not looking to change the past. She is just trying to guide her younger self and offer her some advice while simultaneously making sure that she's not spoiling any of the surprises that life has to offer. These two have genuinely impressive chemistry that shines every time they are on screen together. There's almost a maternal bond going on between these two because older Elliott is trying to help younger Elliott through life with some advice. And that's exactly what your parents are doing. Your parents are here to pass on the knowledge that they have down to you. And that's what's going on here. Older Elliott is trying to help younger Elliott find out some of the things that she was never told. Or actually, she probably was. Her mom probably tried to teach her this information as well, but maybe she just didn't get it. You know, a lot of us don't like listening to people's advice. And it is such a unique and interesting thing to think about, and it's gonna really make you think about how you would apply this movie's story to your own life. I'm 38, and I wouldn't exactly say I'm a roaring success. There's definitely a lot of things that I wish I would have done differently when I was younger. So what could I tell my younger self to make sure that I end up the best version of myself? One thing I can say for sure I would tell myself is not to listen to the naysayers. Don't let people tell you what you can and cannot do. I think if I had ignored some of that negative advice when I was younger, I would probably be a completely different person now. But that's what's fun about about this movie. It makes you think about this situation, and yeah, you can't do anything about it, but it's fun to think about, and it also could help you heal and come to terms with the choices you made. This movie works best when it's exploring the very idea of what it means to be young, to be learning. It's in these moments that Elliott becomes so relatable and easy to connect with as a character. Director Megan Park does a fantastic job weaving together a story that is both funny and heartwarming. There's moments where I legit teared up. I don't like to admit that to everybody on the internet, but I had some tears. It's hard. This movie, you watch it. I bet you if you watch this movie and you don't cry, well, that says more about you than it does about me. This could have easily just been some raunchy comedy that leaned heavily on dirty jokes and humor, but instead, this movie chose to have humor and a heartwarming story, and it really works well. I do want to show some love to the supporting cast in this movie as well, especially Percy Hynes White and Maria Dizzia. Maria Dizzia does such a great job playing this mom. She's a very patient woman, and she is going through all the emotions that a mom does. She wants to see her daughter succeed, and she is just watching from the sidelines, giving a little bit of nudge here and there because that's all you can really do as a parent. Percy Hynes White plays a guy named Chad. Fans of Wednesday on Netflix will probably recognize him, and all I can say is he works really well in this movie. His character is insanely charming and down to earth, and every time he was on screen, I had an ear-to-ear smile. He is so likable, so easy to watch. This movie was not really on my radar. I had seen the trailers in theaters, but it wasn't something that I was like being drawn to, that I was like, oh my God, I must see it. But when I saw that this was available to watch on Amazon Prime, I thought, okay, now's a great time to check this out because it did look fairly intriguing, and I am very glad that I did because this movie offered me so much more than I really expected it to. For me, this movie is a 10 out of 10. I loved everything about it from the top down. The story is just so remarkable, so heartwarming. The entire cast in this movie sells this very real and very tangible story. And I'm not saying real as in, oh my God, you can take a bunch of mushrooms and have a conversation with your future self. I mean, you might be able to. Who knows what's possible on mushrooms? I hear the sky's the limit, but that's not what I'm saying when I say realism. I'm just saying that this story feels so tangible, so real, and something that I think most people will connect to. That's my thoughts on this movie. What did you guys think of this movie? Did you see this movie yet? If you didn't, check it out. It's available to watch on Amazon Prime, and it is so worth the time and effort that it took to press play on the screen. Did you like this video? If you did, please hit the like button, and if you want to hear more things from me, subscribe to this channel. Later.